Hey everyone, welcome in to a quick recap of the first bit of college basketball that we got to experience last night, November 3rd. I'm going to talk about the two big games that were happening last night with Arizona, Florida, and of course BYU-Villanova. I'm going to try and not make this too long for you guys, and also too, I'm going to have some week one predictions later this weekend, especially for this weekend, I should say, for some of these games. Also, too, stay tuned. Tonight, the first college football playoff bracket comes out. I'll be doing a video on that later tonight as well. Also, then by tomorrow, I'll do a recap video, just a quick recap video of Duke versus Texas as well. I'm trying to get some various content for you guys through the college basketball season. Of course, time allowing, of course, within my busier schedule. So let's get right to it. So the first major game that we had last night was number 3 Florida versus number 13 Arizona, Hall of Fame series in Las Vegas. And the story obviously was how much scoring was ongoing in this game. And not only that, Arizona's speed and athleticism and physicality outmatching Florida. I mean, was impressed with Arizona last night. But listen, right at the gate, I want to say Florida is a team that hung tough. I mean, they got up the gate strong. They were up by like 15 early, and then they had a very bad second half stint of shooting the ball. I think they shot well under 40% overall in the second half, which was not good. It definitely sealed their fate. But let's go ahead and get right into it with the overall box score in general, because these stats are definitely interesting to look at, and in relation to the key things that we were keeping our eye on coming into the season and what could evolve, especially with the players that had already departed from last season, whether it be departing to the NBA or to another team. Florida, for starters, Thomas Hawk was the leading scorer. He had 27 points off of 4 rebounds. He shot from 53%, almost 54% field goal percentage overall, or not 54% field goal percentage in terms of his 2-pointers. Only 1 of 4 from 3. Very well from the charity stripe, obviously, 86%. But it goes to show that Florida's guard play didn't exactly make the difference last night. And, of course, when you lose Walter Clayton, Richard, and Elijah Martin, it's hard to replace all that in a quick succession. I don't want to overreact to this box score, this stat line here, but also, too, Florida's depth, we'll see how Florida's depth also evolves through the season, but they're going to have to evolve. They got no choice, in my opinion. They brought in Boogie Flan and Xavier Lee for good reason, because they feel like they have confidence in these guys really stepping up with their experience. Of course, Flan missed quite a bit of last season with injury. He had 9 points. He got hurt again last night, but I think it was more cramps. Didn't shoot very well. Didn't shoot well at all. He was 0-2 from 3. He had a 33% field goal percentage. But this is not me saying, I think Boogie Flan sucks. He needs to get benched. No, we're just analyzing and doing a proper critique of these teams. It's early. Let's not bash them too hard. But these are things, though, we need to identify for them, of course, what they need to work on. Florida's guard play over time could evolve properly. Xavier Lee was the guard that got the most points. He had 14 points. Didn't shoot great, but he kept trying. When he had open looks, he had a shot blocked as well by D'Orso, I believe. Alex Condon, he got dunked on late by Kopi. Oh my lord, that was crazy. We'll talk about him in a minute and his impressive performance. Ruben Shinyulu, of course, a guy who will, of course, really be kind of like that rim guy. He's usually kind of hovering closer to the rim. But Henlockton, really just a rebounding machine last night. 12 rebounds. He was just getting those offensive boards especially. Klavzar didn't do a whole lot of favors, but he got a couple buckets. But again, the overall effort of Florida was not enough. Had they shot better, and this is the same thing we'll talk about in BYU-Villanova here in a minute, Florida could have won this game by a few points. But I had leaned towards Arizona winning this game for good reason, because I felt like Arizona's guard play will outmatch Florida, and that's exactly what happened. But you're talking arguably the best front court in the country with Condon Hawk, Shinyulu, and Hinlockton. Okay? Let's not forget Florida's still a good team. Again, no, an overreaction is not necessary right now. Florida hung tough. This is going to be a great season. Arizona even proved that too. And I know a lot of you who saw my video, the preseason bracketology, and I was dogging Arizona. Listen, truth be told, I have had trust issues with this team for a long time. Maybe they're trying to erase those trust issues finally. I would like to, if Arizona can finally make the Final Four, that'd be really just amazing to see for them. They haven't been to the Final Four in a long time. It's been since, 97, I believe? That's when they won it all, too. The last time a team west of the central section of the United States won a title, matter of fact. So Florida, guard play needs to step it up. And also, too, Florida just consistently shoot better. And, I'd like to see Florida try to be a little more physical. But, I mean, they were fighting pretty hard in that game, I'll be honest. But Arizona just wanted it even more. Speaking of Arizona, a very impressive stat line from these freshmen. These freshmen are just standing out tremendously. I mean, we got to start with Koa Pete. Koa Pete was incredible last night. Best debut by an Arizona Wildcat in history. This stat line here is incredible. 30 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists. He shot 61% from field goal percentage, did not shoot a 3, so he shot very well from the field. From the charity stripe, he only shot 67%. Needs to work on that a little bit, of course, but just incredible. He had 3 steals, a block, 2 turnovers, but you know what? He was just all over the court last night. Very impressed with his athleticism. He can move. He can move very fast. I will be very intrigued to see what he does. I mean, also, too, Jaden Bradley. Arizona, after Caleb Love left and after they lost KJ Lewis, you got to find that true point guard. I think you got it in Jaden Bradley. He stepped up big time. And I figured he would, but man, he just was so impressive last night. He shot well from the field, 64% from the field. He had 3 rebounds, 5 assists, 2 steals. She turned it over 3 times, but again, it's just how it goes. But very impressive from free throw, 9 of 10, good shooting from free throw. Arizona shot very well from the free throw line. Florida, not as much. Hinlockton was bad at the free throw line, but that's one of his weaknesses in general. How about Karchenkov? Karchenkov was a machine, too, last night. 10 rebounds, 12 points. He even contributed to a couple threes in the game. Very impressed. Krivas was impressive. His defense was key with 3 blocks. Awaka fouled out. Awaka is supposed to be Arizona's big-time physical men, of course, obviously. No, I'm sorry, he did not foul out, but he had 4 fouls. I thought he fouled out last night. It was Braden Burries who fouled out. But Awaka, obviously one of Arizona's best players. There's going to be no question on it. He's a very physical player. He is going to be right there wherever you are, essentially. He identifies the plays well. He is going to be all over the place. So key takeaways. Arizona, I love their speed. I love their athleticism. This team is going to fight hard this year. Defensively, wonder if their defense will improve over time, but it seems like their offensive identity early on looked really, really clear, looked crisp. Florida, 26% from 3 for Florida, not going to cut it. They're 42% or 43% from overall field goal percentage. Arizona outshot them clearly by a mile. Both teams rebounded the ball well. 41 rebounds, Arizona, 39 for Florida. Both teams had about 15 turnovers. Really, to be honest, the big difference was Arizona was just hustling. Hustle with this team. Aggressiveness. Freshmen stepping up. Guard play was better. The guard play was the difference with Arizona winning this game. So, great statement win by Arizona early in the season. We'll be looking forward to that. Florida, they'll be fine. They just need to figure it out. Moving on to BYU and Villanova, BYU-Villanova. This game was very interesting, probably closer than some people thought. I'm not surprised. Villanova is a completely new team. You don't really have too much to work with because all these guys trying to gel together. They're finding their chemistry. They're finding their identity under a new head coach. Former Maryland head coach Kevin Willard now coaches Villanova. They were talking about during the broadcast how this will be his final stop. And also, too, he wants to bring Villanova back to prominence, to being successful in the tournament. And I'll tell you what, it's a decent start, but Villanova, I'll tell you what, right at the gate, they've got to shoot the ball better. They were missing a ton of shots last night, especially from three. But they shot the three a lot. And I'll tell you what, BYU was a little bit uncharacteristical last night. But I know that, especially with having guys like the highly touted freshman AJ DeBansa, especially, I know they want to really try and, of course, trying to work things in his favor, and also with the other guys on the team like Keita. BYU, of course, as we know, loves to shoot the three. They weren't, essentially spraying lead from beyond the arc. They weren't a lot, until later in the game especially, it seemed like. I don't know, but it just was a game that felt a little weird, but also, too, we were really seeing things work out in real time with Villanova, so let's talk about it. Both teams did not shoot well from three, though. The shooting for the night for both teams was not as good. But when it mattered most, though, BYU made their shots when it mattered most. That is important to note. I'm not trying to say BYU completely sucked it up shooting-wise, but these stats here aren't good. This is not typical BYU. They usually shoot better than this. But it's a byproduct, too, of Villanova's defense. And Villanova out-rebounded BYU especially, which is something that's interesting to note as well. BYU kept it very clean, though. Villanova was a little sloppy, I will say, especially on the offensive end. That you could see it work out in real time. They were kind of having some issues with trying to shoot the ball, get set, and get their proper positioning, it seemed like, it seemed like to me. But when Villanova was on it, they were really starting to claw their way back. It just was very interesting to watch it happen in real time. So Villanova, Bryce Lindsey off the bench at 22 points. Willard will figure out who really should be starting and who won't be. I think Lindsey's got to get more minutes. I mean, he had 27 minutes off the bench. Devin Askew had 3 personal fouls. Fouls were a big problem for Villanova last night at times. Hodge had 4 fouls. Askew had 3. Gapari had 3. Palmer had 4. Fouling was a problem for Villanova last night compared to BYU's 13. Villanova shot 29% from 3. I think they attempted 10 of 35. They shot a lot of threes. Hodge, Perkins, Lewis were really Lindsey was the only one that was consistently hitting shots last night. Let's just put it like that. But Duke Brennan, I like Duke Brennan's toughness, 15 rebounds, and Tyler Perkins getting 9 rebounds as well. Trying to figure out who is going to be that leading guard or ball handler. Who do you trust when you need to get some other magic going with screens or transition? Very interesting work in progress with Villanova. I'm trying to figure out what other things to say. But I did like their toughness. Their defense, their man-to-man defense was very stiff last night. They made BYU very uncomfortable. They made the pace dominant in their favor. Another uncharacteristical thing from BYU. BYU is a faster team typically, but Villanova, they slowed it way down. Compacted the pace, made it in their own way to where they will make you fight for every inch with having to try and score. So Villanova showed their toughness last night. Kevin Willard, having the experience he had with Maryland, and of course, I think Iona as well. Willard is definitely a guy who is not going to let his guys just be they have this guy, this, that. No, especially with a new collection of players and trying to all believe in each other. I liked Villanova's effort. Had they shot the ball better, they would have clearly won the game because obviously these stats reflect that. No question about it. I will be interested to see again who becomes the real true guard from Villanova this year. Who becomes the one that they trust the most and leading the way with creating the plays or shots when matter most or the handling and all that. So, clearly though, Duke Brennan's going to be one of the main key guys, especially at the rim with rebounding too. So, really cool to see. BYU, I have some things to say about BYU. First things first, I did not like the way they let Villanova dictate the pace. They could have easily got caught by that. When it mattered most, though, when they turned it on and went in their favor, when they went at their pace and moved around fast, like the way that Devanza was, or when they went out in transition, they were definitely running things in their favor. With that 10-0 run late in the game, that was big. But yeah, this team struggled last night. Their three-point shooting was off. A lot of things are off for BYU. Not the most classic BYU we've seen in the past. But again, it's game one. It's a new season. We'll see. BYU is in a tough Big 12 conference. I believe they were projected to finish second in the Big 12 standings or third, one of the two. But high expectations this season. I mean, Keita by far, and him and Devanza were the two best in the court. Keita, his hustle is incredible. I liked his physicality, blocking shots like no tomorrow. Robert Wright III, his speed, the way he gets the basket, I liked it a lot. Man, just very, very athletic guard. Devanza, you saw with the way that he moves and his skill set, he needs to get better shooting from range. That is one thing that is a bit of a thing of worry. His free throw percentage was really bad last night, but again, work in progress. Boscovich got some meaningful minutes. Bob got some meaningful minutes, along with Dawson Baker, who, of course, hit a key three in the game as well. BYU, yeah, I want to see BYU really take things in their own pace more. They let Villanova dictate it too much. They got to get fat. They got to go up the tempo. They got to up a tempo. They got to go out and transition more. What they like to do. It's kind of like, I don't know if I want to say, like a team like Arizona. If Arizona got slowed down, they're way out of their element because Arizona likes playing fast. Or, teams like playing fast and can't handle playing slow. There are a few teams who are able to do both. Houston's one of them. I feel like Houston can play fast. But yeah, very, very intriguing set of games last night. I am very excited that college basketball is back. I hope you are too. We got lots more content coming your way. Duke, Texas is tonight. I will have a video on that tomorrow. We'll talk about it tomorrow. I'm going to try, collectively take as much mental thought about it as I possibly can. We'll see how it all goes, and then some predictions later in the weekend. Also, college football. Got a lot coming your way, guys. I'm going to try to do the best I can, though. I got other things going on, too, that I'm focused on. But until then, thank you guys for tuning in to this recap of yesterday with the big games, of course. And let's keep hooping. I'll see you guys in this next one soon.